Number 1. Strange laws that you won't believe are real. In Switzerland, owning a dog comes with specific financial responsibilities. Dog owners are required to pay an annual dog tax, with the amount varying based on the breed and size of each dog. This fee is used to maintain dog parks and provide free plastic bags for cleaning up waste, which are placed throughout the streets, commonly referred to as Ruby Dog. Thanks to this system, Swiss streets are kept remarkably clean, often surprising many visitors. However, this cleanliness is also attributed to the role of those commonly known as litter police. In Switzerland, waste disposal is a costly process, as residents are required to use special trash bags that include disposal fees. Some individuals intentionally use regular trash bags to avoid these fees, but this behavior carries significant risks. Municipal sanitation workers have the authority to open trash bags to look for receipts, letters, or any documents that can help identify the owner. When a violation is detected, a fine is sent directly to the offender's home, accompanied by the unavoidable feeling of being scrutinized by neighbors. The country is also known for its very strict animal protection laws. A prime example is the regulation regarding the keeping of guinea pigs. According to the law, owning only one guinea pig is considered a violation, as scientific studies indicate that they are highly social animals. When living alone, guinea pigs can easily become stressed, depressed, and even die from isolation. Therefore, owners are required to keep them in pairs. Similar principles apply to other species, such as parakeets and goldfish. Even in the culinary field, Swiss law intervenes deeply in animal welfare issues. If you are a chef, dropping live lobsters directly into boiling water could be considered a criminal act. Neurological studies have shown that lobsters and many crustaceans possess a nervous system complex enough to feel pain. For this reason, lobsters must be rendered unconscious through electric shock or mechanical means before being cooked. During transport, they are also not allowed to be placed on ice, but must be kept in a saltwater environment that closely resembles their natural living conditions. Finally, traffic fines in Switzerland are not set at a fixed rate for everyone, but are calculated based on the income and wealth of the offender. This means that the wealthier the person, the higher the fine. A famous case occurred in 2010 when a Swiss millionaire drove a Ferrari Testarossa at 137 kilometers per hour in an area with a maximum speed limit of 80 kilometers per hour. After being caught, the court reviewed his financial records, which showed a total wealth of around 23 million USD, and imposed a fine based on his daily income. As a result, he had to pay a fine of up to $290,000, enough to buy a new car. If you're curious, the highest fine ever recorded in Switzerland was 1 million USD, imposed on a Swedish tourist. Number 2. The country cannot be invaded. The most direct factor influencing the existence of a nation is always geography. Switzerland possesses a unique topography characterized largely by mountains and hills. To the south, the Alps, with an average elevation of about 2.5 kilometers above sea level, form a natural barrier that is nearly insurmountable for any invading army. On the northern border with France, the Jura Mountains, although lower and smaller than the Alps, are still sufficient to hinder large-scale offensive operations from that direction. To the west, Switzerland has a very narrow strip of territory situated between the Jura Mountains and Lake Geneva, with some areas less than 6 kilometers wide, making it extremely advantageous for defense. Only in the east, bordering Germany, is there no significant natural barrier. However, Switzerland is located upstream of the Rhine River, which flows through key industrial areas and densely populated regions in western Germany. In other words, Switzerland controls a vital water source for a large part of German territory, creating a strategically deterrent advantage. Geography has provided Switzerland with a special layer of protection. The remaining issue is how to ensure that no one wishes to attack them. World War I involved 33 nations, while World War II drew in about 80% of the global population into conflict. Yet, in both of these most catastrophic wars in human history, Switzerland remained neutral. For over 200 years, this country has not directly participated in any war. Switzerland is not a member of the EU or NATO. In fact, it wasn't until 2002 that they joined the United Nations following a referendum, a precedent-setting event in the history of this organization. Switzerland's policy of neutrality dates back to 1815, after Napoleon's defeat by the coalition of European powers. The Congress of Vienna was held to reshape the post-war European order, and there, Switzerland's permanent neutrality was officially recognized by France, Britain, Austria, Germany, and Russia. In other words, Switzerland's neutrality is protected under international law. But if we were to assume that a power emerged that disregarded geography, ignored international law, and was determined to invade Switzerland, would that be feasible? The answer remains very unlikely. Contrary to the image of neutrality, the Swiss have a formidable military tradition. Historically, Swiss mercenaries were considered some of the finest infantry in Europe, sought after by kingdoms such as France, Germany, and Italy. In an emergency, Switzerland could mobilize around 200,000 soldiers within just 24 hours. Additionally, the country is renowned for its military camouflage capabilities. A prime example is the Villa Rose in the town of Nyon, which appears to be an ordinary civilian structure but is, in fact, a military fortress. The small building next to this villa is actually an anti-tank gun. There are many other hidden defensive positions that remain undisclosed for strategic reasons. This is the clear message Switzerland sends to any nation that intends to disrupt their peace. Number 3. Swiss women. Beautiful and emotionally expressive. Located at the crossroads of Austria, Italy, France, and Germany, Swiss women have long been considered to possess a uniquely blended beauty. They typically have fair skin, blonde hair, well-defined facial features, and often striking blue or light brown eyes. When it comes to physique, it's not an exaggeration to say that finding an unattractive Swiss woman is akin to winning the Powerball. Switzerland is also home to Ursula Andress, who was once hailed as a post-war European beauty icon. If this name sounds unfamiliar, she is the leading lady in the first James Bond film, Dr. No. In matters of romance, Swiss women are known for their seriousness and caution. Many psychologists suggest that the dating process in Switzerland tends to be quite slow. You shouldn't expect things to reach a conclusion overnight as you might in the US. Instead, relationships typically develop through clear stages, starting from friends, colleagues, and close acquaintances before progressing to love. According to official Swiss government statistics from 2021, about 35% of marriages in the country are between Swiss citizens and foreigners. Now that you know Swiss women are quite open to cross-border relationships, the question arises, how can you avoid becoming a laughingstock in their eyes? First and foremost, remember the principle of adapting to local customs. Knowing a few basic greetings in Swiss German, such as Grüezi or Hoi, is often viewed positively. Both mean simple greetings, but are enough to make the other person feel more at ease. Swiss women value equality in relationships, including financial matters. Splitting the bill is quite normal, but chivalry is still appreciated. If you focus too much on dividing expenses on the first date, it's likely that the conversation will end there, with little chance for a second date. Due to the slow-paced dating culture, building relationships through online apps in Switzerland often yields low results. If you still want to give it a try, there are two common scenarios you might encounter. One is getting scammed, and the other is still getting scammed. It may sound like a joke, but this is the reality. The difference lies in whether you are deceived by a real woman, or, worse, if the person you chat with daily is a man posing as a woman. Not many locals trust dating apps, as the Swiss Cybersecurity Agency issues warnings about online romance scams every 1 to 2 months. So, where and how does an ideal date in Switzerland usually take place? If you're curious, leave a comment with the number 3, and I'll be happy to share more. Number 4. How did the Swiss escape poverty? In terms of defense, Switzerland's geography is almost a perfect gift. But from an economic perspective, it presents many disadvantages. The country lacks natural resources, has no coastline, and its population is unevenly distributed due to the dominant mountainous terrain. So, what has enabled Switzerland to rise to become one of the wealthiest economies in the world today? The answer, once again, lies in its policy of neutrality. By steering clear of political and religious conflicts, Switzerland has become an attractive destination for skilled labor from all over the world. In 1839, Norbert de Patek, a former Polish officer, arrived in Geneva and contributed to the establishment of the Patek Philippe watch brand. Similarly, Nicholas Hayek, co-founder of Swatch, who hails from Lebanon, chose Switzerland as his home to build his career. As a result, today about 1/3 of Switzerland's population is foreign-born. Nearly half of the executives of the largest corporations in the country are also immigrants. Neutrality has also facilitated the robust development of the Swiss banking sector. During World War II, when bombs and inflation ravaged Europe, Switzerland became a safe haven for assets. The Nazis confiscated the property of Jews in many countries, and a portion of that wealth was transferred to Swiss banks. Despite knowing the origins of this gold, Switzerland allowed the Nazis to exchange it for Swiss francs. This money was subsequently used to purchase weapons and sustain the war. This action led Switzerland to face significant ethical criticism. Some documents even suggest that after the war ended, the unutilized gold was nationalized, creating a substantial capital source for the economy. Today, the Swiss banking system is regarded as the world's vault, thanks to its strict confidentiality policies. The assets of many high-ranking officials and funds of unclear origins are deposited here. Simply put, if a corrupt official deposits money in a Swiss bank, even if arrested, that money remains protected. This level of credibility has allowed the banking sector to contribute about 9% of Switzerland's GDP. After the two world wars, the United States was the biggest beneficiary, with Switzerland often ranked just behind it. The commonality between the two countries is that they both avoided direct devastation from the wars and seized the opportunity to supply weapons and essential goods to the warring parties. However, the wars still pose challenges for Swiss businesses in terms of transporting and selling goods. To mitigate risks in Europe, many companies expanded their operations to less affected areas, particularly the US. A prime example is Nestlé. After entering the US market, Nestlé's dairy products became essential supplies for the military due to strong capital and stable production capabilities. As a result, the company's revenue surged from around $100 million before the war to $225 million by the end of 1945. It can be said that the war inadvertently facilitated Nestlé's development into a multinational corporation. Number 5. Switzerland is currently composed of 26 cantons with a high degree of autonomy, a rare model in the modern world. This structure did not emerge from a powerful central state, but originated from a defensive alliance among small communities living in the Alps at the end of the 13th century. In 1291, the three cantons of Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden signed a pact of alliance to protect themselves against the expanding influence of the Habsburg dynasty, the main force of the Holy Roman Empire. This alliance did not create a unified nation, establish a central government, or have a common constitution. Their sole objective was to cooperate in defense and maintain the self-governance of each community. After their victory at Morgarten in 1315 against the Habsburg forces, the alliance of the three cantons quickly gained prestige in the region. From then on, they gradually incorporated new members, and by the 15th century, the alliance had expanded to 13 cantons. This was the initial foundation of the Swiss state as we know it today. However, even as the number of members increased, the cantons maintained their own legal systems and political institutions, only coming together when military coordination was necessary. This operational method ingrained a decentralized federal mindset deeply into the consciousness of the people, making it difficult to replace with any other centralized model. This was clearly demonstrated in 1848 when Napoleon, after taking control of all 13 cantons, attempted to transform Switzerland into a republic called Helvetic. This model quickly failed and lasted less than 5 years due to continuous internal conflicts among the cantons. In light of this situation, Napoleon was forced to abandon his ambitions for centralization and restore autonomy to the Swiss cantons. Because of this historical context, the Swiss federal government today is designed to serve the cantons rather than control them. Each canton has its own constitution, parliament, government, and police force. The federation only intervenes when the cantons cannot reach a consensus on common issues. The people also hold significant power within this system. In many countries, opposing a law can lead to prolonged protests. However, in Switzerland, citizens have the right to reject or demand amendments to any law proposed by the government, provided they gather enough signatures, 50,000 within 100 days. Number 6. Switzerland and some interesting facts. The Swiss flag is one of only 2 square flags in the world, alongside the Vatican flag. When observing this symbol, many people will recognize a familiar resemblance. The Red Cross is the largest humanitarian organization globally, with over 192 member countries, and its emblem is essentially the inverted color scheme of the Swiss flag. The story began in 1859, during a brutal battle in the town of Solferino, in northern Italy. where the French and Italian alliance clashed with the Austrian Empire. The battle resulted in nearly 40,000 soldiers being wounded and left abandoned on the battlefield. In the face of this tragedy, a Swiss merchant named Henry Dunant called upon the local people to come together to care for the wounded, regardless of their allegiance. Upon returning to his homeland, he published a book titled A Memory of Solferino, in which he proposed the establishment of neutral organizations in each country to care for soldiers injured in war. Just 1 year after the book's publication, this idea became a reality with the founding of the International Committee of the Red Cross, headquartered in Geneva, Switzerland. Not the United States or Russia, Switzerland is considered the safest country in the world in the event of a nuclear war. During the Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union, Switzerland built a network of shelters capable of accommodating up to 114% of its population. These shelters are stocked by the government with food and drinking water, sufficient for the population to survive continuously for about 3 months. Swiss law also stipulates that anyone building a house must ensure that the structure includes a bunker capable of withstanding the impact of a nuclear explosion. In cases of financial hardship, residents can pay a fee to reserve a spot in a public bunker in their area. As the threat of nuclear war has diminished, many bunkers have been repurposed into tourist attractions, recreational areas, or storage for wine and cheese. However, if nuclear warheads were ever activated, these bunkers would immediately revert to their original purpose. When the radioactive dust settles, it is likely that the world would be left with only national leaders, cockroaches, and about 9 million Swiss citizens. Number 7. The most livable country in the world. According to a recent study by a research unit affiliated with The Economist magazine on the Quality of Life Index, Switzerland has been ranked as the most livable country in the world. As of 2024, data from the World Health Organization indicates that the average life expectancy of Swiss citizens is among the highest globally. Specifically, men have an average life expectancy of about 83.2 years, while women reach approximately 85.3 years. With these figures, Switzerland ranks second in the world for average life expectancy, only behind Japan. Not only is Switzerland notable for its life expectancy, but its level of security is also a factor that many other countries must take into account. For a long time, this country has been classified among those with the lowest crime rates in the world, and this outcome is not due to luck. This achievement is the result of a combination of many factors, including social culture, the education system, and a well-structured legal framework and welfare policies. Swiss citizens have a high awareness of protecting public safety, respecting social regulations, and emphasizing personal responsibility, which in turn creates an orderly and stable living environment. An important reason that helps Switzerland effectively control crime lies in its well-invested education system. From a young age, children are introduced to values of ethics, community responsibility, and mutual respect. Education in Switzerland not only focuses on academic knowledge, but also aims to build character and a positive attitude towards life, helping citizens to resolve conflicts through dialogue and reduce unlawful behavior. Alongside education, a robust social welfare system also plays a crucial role in maintaining social safety. The Swiss government implements effective support programs, making it easier for citizens to access healthcare, education, and job opportunities. When basic needs are adequately met, the motivations leading to criminal behavior for survival significantly decrease. Moreover, Switzerland's legal system is highly regarded for its transparency and serious enforcement capabilities. The police force not only maintains order, but also proactively collaborates with the community in crime prevention efforts. The combination of clear laws, appropriate enforcement measures, and a close relationship between the government and the citizens has helped Switzerland maintain its status as one of the safest countries in the world. Number 8. The clock, a symbol of the nation. When Switzerland is mentioned, many people immediately think of high-end watches, where the craft has evolved into an industry that combines art with world-class precision. With a history spanning over 400 years, Swiss watches are not just timekeeping instruments. They also represent status, lifestyle, and national pride. The watchmaking industry here began to take shape in the 16th century when craftsmen from France migrated to Geneva, bringing with them skills and experience accumulated over generations. At that time, Geneva was a wealthy city with a vibrant cultural life, heavily influenced by the Reformation movement led by John Calvin, who opposed the use of extravagant jewelry. In this context, watches became a fitting choice, satisfying aesthetic needs while showcasing creativity and dedication to the craft. Over time, the Swiss watch manufacturing industry gradually developed into a highly specialized field, continuously improving both in technique and design. By the 18th century, Switzerland had established its position by producing many models with high precision and exquisite designs. Skilled artisans created extremely complex mechanical movements with nearly perfect finishing. This attention to detail has helped Switzerland, from the 19th century to the present, to be regarded as a global symbol of luxury watchmaking. The scale of the Swiss watch industry also clearly reflects this status. Currently, the country has over 500 watch brands, and although they account for a small percentage of total production, Swiss watches hold more than 50% of the total market value of the global watch industry. This success comes from many factors, the most important of which is their high precision, as each watch must meet the strict standards of the Swiss-made certification to ensure quality and longevity. Additionally, the designs are elegant and luxurious, crafted by artisans whose skills have been passed down through generations. The materials used are also of high quality, such as gold, silver, stainless steel, and precious stones. For luxury lines, diamonds and sapphires are often used to enhance aesthetic value and durability over time. When it comes to renowned Swiss watch brands, names like Rolex, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, and Omega are always at the forefront, each brand possessing its own unique identity. Switzerland is also associated with watches that come with extremely high price tags. A notable example is the Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime 6300 A010, which was sold for over $31 million and features 20 complicated functions such as a perpetual calendar, alarm, and world time display. Additionally, the Rolex Daytona, linked to actor Paul Newman, fetched nearly $18 million, not only due to its rarity but also because of its special historical value. Number 9. The railway tunnel through the Alps. The Alps stretch across Switzerland and several other European countries, long regarded as one of the most beautiful and iconic mountain ranges in the world. However, for centuries, the rugged terrain of this mountain range has also served as a significant natural barrier, complicating trade between northern and southern Europe. In this context, Switzerland plays a crucial role as a hub for the transportation of goods in Europe. On average, more than 4,000 heavy trucks traverse the Alpine region daily by road. The dense traffic, combined with environmental pollution pressures, has compelled the Swiss government to seek a more efficient and sustainable transportation solution. In 1994, Switzerland held a referendum to decide on shifting most freight transport from road to rail. From this long-term choice, a global infrastructure project was initiated, the Gotthard Base Tunnel, constructed through the heart of the Alps. This project connects the town of Ursfeld in the canton of Uri with the town of Bodio in the canton of Ticino. The tunnel system consists of two parallel single-track tunnels, each serving a separate railway line, with a total length of 57.09 kilometers. With this length, the Gotthard Base Tunnel officially became the longest railway tunnel in the world. Not only is it remarkable for its length, but it is also the deepest railway tunnel ever constructed. The deepest point of the tunnel lies approximately 2,450 meters below the mountain's surface, presenting a high level of risk and complexity during construction. The Gotthard Base Tunnel project began in 1999, with an estimated total cost of around 9.56 billion Swiss francs, equivalent to 10.9 billion USD at current exchange rates. The construction lasted for 17 years, employing over 2,500 engineers and workers who worked continuously under harsh conditions. During the construction process, 8 workers lost their lives. By June 2016, the Gotthard Base Tunnel was officially completed. Throughout the construction period, approximately 13.3 million cubic meters of rock were excavated and transported out. This volume of material is estimated to be equivalent to the amount of stone needed to build about 5 Giza pyramids in Egypt. Number 10. Famous tourist destinations. Jungfrauhoch, located at an altitude of 3,454 meters, is one of the few places in Europe accessible by train rather than requiring a mountain climb. The Jungfrau Railway has been in operation since 1912, running through the heart of the Eiger and Munch Mountains, and is still regarded as a remarkable engineering achievement in Switzerland. At the summit, visitors can find the Sphinx Observatory, a climate research center, along with the Ice Palace, which is carved directly into the permanent ice. From this vantage point, one can see the Aletsch Glacier, the largest glacier in the Alps, which has been recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. Thus, Jungfraujoch serves both as a tourist destination and as a testament to Switzerland's integration of high-altitude exploration with long-term scientific research. Next is the town of Zermatt in the Valais region, one of Switzerland's most famous destinations. This town has developed almost entirely around the Matterhorn, a 4,478-meter peak that is globally iconic. The center of Zermatt is completely free of internal combustion engine vehicles, creating a rare, quiet atmosphere for a major tourist location. The cable car system allows visitors to access high-altitude ski areas year-round, with Glacier Paradise being the highest cable car station in Europe. From Zermatt, visitors can even ski across the border into Italy without leaving the resort system. Therefore, the Matterhorn is not just a scenic landmark, but also a key factor influencing the lifestyle and economy of the entire town. Lucerne is centrally located and serves as a hub connecting many important transportation routes across the country. The Chapel Bridge, built in the 14th century, is the most recognizable image of the city, featuring a series of historical paintings along its roof. The Museig Wall and its watchtowers surrounding the Old Town have been preserved almost intact. From Lucerne, historic cogwheel trains take visitors up to Pilatus and Rigi, two mountains closely tied to the development of tourism in Switzerland. This city is often chosen as a stopover because it combines historical elements with convenient transportation. Finally, Bern, the capital of Switzerland, does not exhibit the bustling atmosphere of a major political center. The UNESCO-recognized Old Town is distinguished by its continuous stone arcades, allowing residents to shop and socialize in all weather conditions. The medieval Zittglogge clock tower still operates today and is considered a symbolic time marker for the city. The Aare River encircles Bern, creating a natural boundary for the city center and becoming a community space during the summer. Bern clearly reflects how Switzerland prioritizes stability, tidiness, and quality of life in urban planning. Number 11. Unique festivals that travelers should know about. Carnival Basel is considered the largest and most vibrant street festival in Switzerland, typically taking place in early spring and lasting for several consecutive days. When the festival officially begins, the entire city center of Basel is plunged into darkness, creating a unique atmosphere that highlights the enormous lanterns designed by the locals. Colorful costumes and intricately crafted masks fill the streets as parade groups make their way through, accompanied by the rhythmic sounds of drums and piccolos. The blend of light, music, and movement creates an atmosphere that is both lively and tinged with mystery. Carnival Basel is not merely an entertainment festival. It is also an occasion to express pride in the long-standing traditions of the local community. Sechseleuten in Zurich has a clear ceremonial significance, closely tied to the seasonal cycle of the year. The festival marks the end of winter and the beginning of spring, a moment long anticipated by the locals. The highlight of the event is the effigy of Bug placed on a bonfire in the square, symbolizing winter. As the flames ignite and the effigy explodes, the crowd watches with eager excitement. Prior to this, traditional guilds parade in historical costumes, creating a solemn and colorful scene. The festival fosters a strong sense of connection between the people and the urban space. For music lovers, the Montreux Jazz Festival is an event that is hard to miss. Held along the shores of Lake Geneva, it brings together renowned artists from various countries. Performances take place continuously across multiple venues, from large stages to open outdoor areas, providing an intimate and diverse experience for the audience. The music, combined with the natural scenery, creates a relaxing and emotionally rich experience. The Montreux Jazz Festival not only attracts jazz enthusiasts, but also appeals to those interested in the arts in general, thereby reinforcing Switzerland's status as a cultural hub on the international stage. Number 12. Famous dishes. Cheese fondue is considered one of the most representative dishes of Swiss cuisine, especially suited for cold weather. As the pot of cheese heats up, the aromas of Gruyere and Emmental blend with white wine, creating a delightful fragrance. The rich, creamy flavor, combined with a hint of salt and the warm sensation, makes this dish perfect for slow enjoyment. The preparation of fondue is quite simple, primarily involving melting cheese with wine and garlic, then dipping bread directly into it. The appeal of fondue lies not only in its taste, but also in the shared experience, where everyone gathers around the same pot of cheese. Following fondue, raclette offers a more direct and clear way to enjoy cheese. When heated, raclette cheese emits a strong milky aroma, with a balanced, rich, and salty flavor and a smooth texture. The main ingredients include a block of cheese, boiled potatoes, and pickled items like gherkins or onions. The traditional method involves heating the surface of the cheese and then scraping the melted layer over the potatoes. Raclette often appears at family meals or gatherings with friends, where each person prepares their own portion, creating a cozy yet engaging atmosphere. Moving away from cheese dishes, Rösti clearly showcases the simplicity of Swiss cuisine. This dish originates from the Bern region and was initially a staple for farmers. When fried in butter, the potatoes emit a distinct aroma, with a crispy exterior while remaining soft inside. Rösti is made from grated potatoes, seasoned with salt, and pan-fried until golden. It can be enjoyed on its own or paired with meat, eggs, or vegetables, and is easily adaptable by adding cheese or bacon. Finally, Zürcher Geschnetzeltes brings a sense of refinement and urban flair. This dish is characteristic of the city of Zurich and is commonly found in traditional restaurants. The aroma of cream blends with the natural scent of mushrooms, creating a rich and pleasant flavor. Thinly sliced veal is quickly sautéed and then cooked with cream and mushrooms to maintain its tenderness and sweetness. The neat presentation, often served with rosti or pasta, makes the dish both visually appealing and energy-rich. Number 13. The most mysterious places in Switzerland. Albinon is located on the mountainside in the Valais region, at an altitude of over 1,300 meters above sea level, overlooking the Rhone Valley. This small village is characterized by its traditional wooden houses, narrow streets, and a way of life that has remained largely unchanged for decades. What sets Albinon apart is not its landscape, but its demographic issues. For a long time, the population has been steadily declining as young people leave the village in search of jobs and a more convenient life in urban areas. At one point, Albinon faced the risk of becoming uninhabited. In response to this situation, the local government implemented a rare policy of providing financial support to those who agreed to move there and settle permanently. As a result, Albinon has become a prime example of a social paradox in Switzerland, where a peaceful living environment with adequate infrastructure is still not enough to retain its residents. In contrast to the desolation of Albinon, the Aletsch Glacier presents a mystery tied to movement. This is the largest glacier in the Alps, stretching over 20 kilometers and recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site. To the naked eye, this massive ice formation appears motionless amidst the mountainous scenery. However, in reality, the Aletsch Glacier moves every day at a rate of several dozen centimeters, carrying rocks, ice, and sediments along with it. This movement occurs so slowly that it is imperceptible to humans unless data is compared over many years. Scientists monitor the positions of large rocks on the glacier's surface to confirm this flow. The Aletsch Glacier illustrates that not all changes are easily noticeable, and many important natural processes occur quietly beyond human perception. Devil's Bridge, also known as Teufelsbrücke, is located in the Schollenen Gorge in the Uri region and spans the rushing Reuss River. This area features extremely rugged terrain, with steep cliffs and narrow gorges, making the construction of a bridge during the Middle Ages exceedingly difficult. Consequently, local legend tells that the villagers turned to the devil to complete the bridge in exchange for a soul. Despite its mythical elements, Devil's Bridge raises many questions about the original construction techniques. There are no detailed records describing the construction process, while laying the foundations and securing the rock structure in this location requires a high degree of precision. Modern hypotheses suggest that the bridge was built in sections during the lowest water levels, combined with traditional stone building techniques from the Alps. Nevertheless, standing on the bridge and hearing the sound of water crashing against the rocks creates an echoing resonance, blurring the line between history and legend. Number 14. Tips for travelers. The mountainous terrain covers a large part of Switzerland, making it essential for travelers to prepare seriously in terms of both physical fitness and safety knowledge when engaging in outdoor activities. When choosing to hike, trek long distances, or use cable cars to reach high-altitude areas, adhering to guidelines and signage is mandatory. Many trails may appear easy at first glance, but can become dangerous if the weather turns bad or visibility suddenly decreases. Equipping oneself with specialized footwear, a map for offline use, spare batteries, and notifying family or accommodation of one's itinerary will help mitigate risks in unexpected situations. When using the highly developed public transportation system in Switzerland, travelers need to understand the ticket inspection process to avoid being scammed or unfairly fined. Train and tram tickets are often subject to random checks, so travelers must always keep their tickets or electronic passes throughout their journey. Valid inspectors will always present their employee ID and use specialized scanning devices, never asking for cash payments. Travelers should not follow the instructions of strangers claiming to be staff if they exhibit any signs of unprofessionalism. Instead, they should proactively ask staff at the station's information desk for verification. When experiencing Switzerland's unique natural features, such as mountain lakes, glaciers, or dense forests, travelers must be aware of potential risks. Many lakes have crystal clear waters, but very low temperatures, which can cause muscle cramps or shock if one enters the water too quickly. Swimming should only occur in designated areas with specific guidance. Additionally, the intensity of sunlight at high altitudes is often stronger than in the plains, making it essential to use sunscreen, protective eyewear, and stay adequately hydrated to avoid exhaustion. From a financial perspective, and to prevent risks, travelers should prioritize using international cards at reputable stores and official ATMs. They should never exchange money with individuals on the street, even if the advertised exchange rates seem attractive, as this is a common scam targeting foreign visitors. When making payments, it is important to carefully check the receipt, as prices in Switzerland can be quite high, and even small discrepancies can lead to significant losses. Safeguarding personal and financial information will help ensure a safe and smooth trip. Number 15. Living expenses. If you are considering a long-term trip or relocating to Switzerland, understanding the cost of living is an essential part of your preparation. This country is known for its high standard of living, which translates to one of the highest spending levels in Europe. However, actual expenses can vary significantly depending on the city you choose and how you organize your daily life. In major urban centers like Zurich, Geneva, or Bern, the rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center typically ranges from $1,800 to $2,500 per month. If you move to areas further from the center or live in nearby towns, this cost can drop to around $1,200 to $1,600. Therefore, the location of your housing is the most direct and significant factor affecting your living budget. Regarding transportation, Switzerland boasts a highly regarded public transport network known for its punctuality and connectivity. Tram, bus, and train lines cover the cities extensively. A single trip within the city usually costs between $3 and $5. Frequent travelers often opt for monthly passes or regional cards to optimize costs. Taxis are relatively expensive, with short rides typically costing between $15 and $25. If you rent a car to explore the mountains or countryside, the average cost is around $60 to $90 per day, excluding fuel. When it comes to food, if you cook at home and buy groceries from regular supermarkets, the cost for one person over about 4 weeks usually falls between $300 and $400. In the case of dining out, a simple meal at a casual eatery costs around $18 to $25, while meals at mid-range restaurants typically range from $30 to $50 or more, depending on the location and service style. Fixed expenses such as electricity, water, heating, and internet also need to be considered. The total utility bill for a small apartment usually ranges from $120 to $180. High-speed internet costs between $50 and $70, offering stable quality and high speed. Overall, to maintain a relatively comfortable lifestyle in Switzerland, a single person typically needs a budget ranging from $2,500 to $3,500 for regular spending. If you choose reasonable housing and spend frugally, this figure can decrease. Conversely, with a lifestyle that prioritizes convenience, frequent dining out, and extensive travel, expenses can easily exceed $4,000. Surely, after exploring these 15 amazing facts about Switzerland, you have begun to appreciate the uniqueness of this country. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss our upcoming journeys. Which fact impressed you the most? Please leave a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts. The information is for reference only, so please do your own research before making any decisions.